our pajama party, women entrepreneur interviews. We're so excited about it. We're excited to have you tonight. And we want to thank you so much for stopping here on Motivation Monday to share with us so we can help you. This is where women with the entrepreneurial spirit and women who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs and seasoned women entrepreneurs come together to share as a community, gaining inspiration, mentoring, and the tools we need to grow our business as we grow ourselves. I'm Cindy Cohen, and I'm an RN for 25 years, an entrepreneur, and for 17 years, the business owner of See to Your Health LLC. In 2018, I founded a nonprofit organization called See to Your Health Women's Initiative. And that's where this program was born from. And tonight we have a special guest. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
We have Brittney Johnson. So, Brittney, thanks so much for taking part of your time to be part of our entrepreneur interview series here. And I was just wondering, could we start by you just telling us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Definitely. Thank you for having me, and thank you for letting me be in my pajamas and in my bed. This is like the perfect thing.
I
Um,
know I just
sorry.
love it. I love the whole pajama thing because it's so authentic and real, and we're not
Yes,
pretending or being somebody we're not. We're just being ourselves. So
definitely.
thanks so much for taking your makeup off.
Listen, anytime I can be natural is perfect, right? So, a little about myself. So, my name is Brittany A. Johnson. I'm a licensed mental health counselor way down here in southern Indiana in New Albany. I live in Jeffersonville, but my office is in New Albany. I've been in private practice for a little over 4 years now. Prior to that, I did a lot of in home therapy, and I would travel places like Madison, Indiana, Indianapolis, Terre Haute, just different places like that to do therapy in home for people. In addition to having my practice, I also offer workshops for adults where I teach them. I did one yesterday called Get Out of Your Own Way, which is one of my favorite ones, where I help people get out of their own way. I'm also an author of a book with the same title. It's called Get Out of Your Own Way 21 Days to Stop Self Sabotage. Because you know what? Let's face it, we have all sabotaged ourselves in one way or another at some point in life, and we probably will do it again unless we have the right tools, right? So
Oh
that's
yeah, well we all backslide.
Oh, of course. No matter how we try. But so that was part of why I wrote the book was so that we could have a roadmap to getting on track and even staying on track or getting back on track if we kind of fall off. So I also kind of enjoy, not kind of, I do enjoy helping new clinicians who are starting their private practices learn about credentialing, learn about licensure, just learn about different things with having a business because it's not something that they teach us in grad school, right? Like you learn everything about mental health, and probably with you learned everything about nursing and medicine and patient care, but no one gives you the tools to have a business. And so that's something that I enjoy doing as well. So
Oh, that's really true. No, they don't give us the tools we need to grow a business. But there's an emerging sort of area called nursepreneur. So it's like
okay.
really exciting to be a nurse entrepreneur, right? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a great new field that's just really come about in the last few years. So I'm excited to be part of that. So
Awesome.
what we do at See to Your Health Women's Initiative is we offer mentoring to women who are thinking about maybe considering being an entrepreneur at some point in their life. And then also women who have had their business for a while and could use a little extra help or some new ideas. And one of the questions that I'm often asked is how did I decide what I was passionate about? So I always like to ask people I'm interviewed, like, how did you decide to go into mental health and how did you know that was kind of the area for you?
Okay. Well, so kind of the way I got into it, honestly, was my family they have always told me that I was nosy, and and I never met a stranger.
Oh my God, that's
So, through some different things, like initially I wanted to be a pharmacist, and it didn't, decided I didn't want to do that. And then I actually went into studying nursing.
great.
And right before it was time to apply for actual nursing school, I took a psychology course and I just fell in love with it. And I was like, you know what? They've always told me that I was nosy and that I never met a stranger. Let me see what this is about. And so I and went into psychology. And then when it was time for graduate school, I realized that I did enjoy talking to people and hearing their stories. And so that's what led me to going into the mental health field. And so that's how it happened. So I took my nosy skills
That sounds
and
great.
now I help people.
Put your nosy
Right,
skills to work.
right. I
Yeah.
put them to work, and
So how
it's
about
been
this?
working out great for me.
So how did you turn like that your nosiness into a business idea? Like at one point, did you say not like because I know a lot of mental health workers work for someone else. So
I did.
what was that kind of thing that made you decide, I don't want to work for someone else. I want to work for myself. How did you come up with that?
So I was working in a position, and I really enjoyed the position I had. But the agency, and a lot of times in agency work, just by design, you work longer hours.
Yeah.
You're spread pretty thin. And it really was, I was missing my children. So my children were pretty young at the time. And I really was starting to miss them. In addition to, I was at the grocery store, and for a while, my husband wouldn't let me go to the grocery store because somebody would come up to me and just start talking, and here goes those skills again. And so I was at the grocery store and I met a woman, and she just started talking to me in the bread aisle. Like I was just trying to pick some Sara
Hmm.
Lee bread, and here she was,
That's
and
so
she
funny.
and she says, I just really enjoy your face. And I was like, okay. And so we had a conversation. And by the end of it, I realized that I really was missing just kind of having that connection
Hmm.
and really helping people with whatever they needed help with, and not kind of what was mandated by our contracts. Because with agencies, you end up with certain contracts, and
Sure.
so you're kind of limited on what you can and can't do. And so that's what kind of, sent me into my own private practice. And then from there, I had to sit down kind of with myself and identify who makes me feel good at the end of the conversation and who is kind of a little bit more draining.
Oh,
And
that's
so
great.
that was kind of how I narrowed down the type of clients that I ultimately work with. Was these are the clients that, really give me extra energy, I'm really energized with, and I'm not as drained from, because unfortunately there are some types of people that just drain us.
Yeah, of course. That's so great. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Actually, my husband tells me that I have that kind of talk to me look.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of that look on my face that says, talk to me. And I said, well, sometimes like strangers like yourself kind of share more than I really want to know.
Yes.
And he said, well, you have to develop that don't talk to me look.
Uh-huh.
And I said, and I asked him, I said, so what does that look like? And this was hysterical. He actually just looks at me like
Oh,
his look is don't talk to me. I'm like, no, I'm good.
yeah, yeah. And you know what? I have developed a little bit of that face, and so if I'm in a hurry, I will put that face on
Yeah,
if I'm in a hurry.
right. I totally understand that.
Definitely.
So, you know what? Studies show that 30% of business owners, both men and women, who have just one interaction with a mentor report business growth. And the more contacts they have with a mentor, the more their business grows, actually to a rate of up to 43% more. So, what I'm wondering is in your journey, is there someone that kind of comes to mind that you think, wow, because I ran into this person, or someone who just was what I call kind of an accidental mentor, or someone you hired, or a business coach that helped you along the way? Is there something they shared with you?
Definitely. I met a coach when I was starting the process to write my book. I met a woman online, and she invited me to kind of a private group that she has online where it's invite only. And through that conversation and through that process, she really helped me to come up with what I really wanted to put in my book. Gave me kind of the freedom or courage, however you want to word it, to just really go for what was important to me. And so I still have periodic conversations with her, pretty much probably once a week.
Oh,
Just to and at this point it's just more so kind of colleague based now.
mhm.
But she was, it literally was her saying, you know what, this is yours. You can put in or take out whatever you want, but just make sure that people hear your voice. And so that was so encouraging because, we get a lot of messages as women, that we need to be a certain way, we need to look a certain way, act a certain way. And I just needed someone to say, it's okay to just be you. And
Oh,
so
I love
definitely,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that a lot. So, what advice would you like to share with us that you wish someone would have told you when you were just getting started in your business?
Oh man.
I know
Probably.
it's really, I know a lot of, because people ask me that a lot. Like, I have a lot of people that I mentor, they'll say, there's so much information out there,
Mhm.
of all these things I need to do. And so, what thing do I need to do first? Or what's the thing I need to concentrate on? Or when now that you look back at now
Uh-huh.
that you've started your business and you have some experience under your belt, um, and now you're the mentor, right?
Right, right.
So, what would you say you wished, wow, I wish I would have known that before I got started?
I- Probably a few things. Number one thing is it's all going to be okay. And so, being able to just remember to enjoy the process and not rush yourself because it will all get done. Uh-oh.
Oh, I think we lost our sound for just a second, but I'm
Oh,
hoping
you're
it
back?
comes right back.
Okay, can you hear
Can
me
you
yet?
hear me?
I
Oh,
can hear you.
oh, you can hear me.
Uh-huh.
Well, we could do sign language here. You know what? Here's what I'll do. What we'll do is I'll ask the questions, and then we'll have you type the answers down. How's that?
Okay.
And then we'll include it at the bottom of this cast. I'm not sure what happened to the internet connection, but we'll work through it.
Okay.
So the questions that we'll be adding to this will be, what advice would you like to share with people that are just starting a business?
Okay.
So that they would know where to start. And then also, what's next for you? What's the
Okay.
next thing you're going to be doing as you move along in your entrepreneur journey? And then the last question is how to get a hold of you.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and end our broadcast. I want to thank everyone for coming. And I have a little commercial I read at the end, so I'm going to read it right now. So here's my notes. C Tier Health is a Women's Initiative, Inc. is a 501c or C3 nonprofit organization supporting seasoned entrepreneurs and women who are looking for entrepreneur mentoring, high school students, women in college, and women from low-income neighborhoods with a health and wellness focus. November 19th, National Women's Entrepreneur Day, we will be celebrating our annual Women's Entrepreneur Summit here in South Bend, Indiana. And I hope you are registered to be a speaker. We would so love to have you. To get involved, learn about the summit, our organization, to volunteer or make a donation to our scholarship program, just go to our website, which I'll put right down here, and you can learn more. So till the next time, stay healthy, stay connected, and stay you. Bye-bye.
Bye.